Hey everyone.
Hello.
I just so happened to throw my name in the hat, so this might be a little rough. Just letting you guys know now. Okay? Rough, right? I hear you. All right. So a few years ago, my best friend Doreen was traveling around China, Taiwan, and Japan with her boyfriend Mark. And while they were on vacation, they asked me to babysit the beloved hamster.
No.
The hamster was cute, had like these beautiful little freckles and these cute little whiskers. And I had babysat the hamster before, but never for 3 weeks, so I was really, really excited about this opportunity. So the first day that I have hamster, its name was Walnut. The first day that I have the Walnut, I decide that I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with Walnut, right? So this was around Christmas time. And the first couple of shots I took with Walnut were me kind of like messing around with him, like, you know, like he was like sniffing down a little bottle of vodka. And then I took another picture where like I had Walnut and I pretended like I was gonna eat him. I took a picture like this. And then I had another like this Rastafarian figurine. My family's from the Caribbean, so I had this little Rastafarian figurine. And I had Walnut like straddling the Rastafarian. And I was just having a good old time just messing with them. So I took all these pictures and I sent them to Doreen and Mark while they were traveling in Taiwan, Japan, and China. So they had asked me, you know, Dawn, just go ahead, take the hamster out, take him out, have a good time with him. And so I was like, okay, no problem. Day number 2 of their 3-week trip, I decided to take out Walnut. I'm having a really good time with him. He's like running around my desk. He's trying to get into my oatmeal. So I go on Facebook and I'm like stalking my ex. And I kind of lose myself in time. I'm like really enthralled in like in this Facebook dialogue, and the next thing you know, I'm like, where's this Walnut? And so I start looking around, I'm looking around, I don't see him anywhere on the table, I feel on my lap, and I turn in my chair, and the next thing you know, I hear this, and I was like, I look down, Walnut is on the ground, and he is convulsing. And I'm like, oh crap. And the next thing you know, he starts bleeding. I don't know what happened, and all of a sudden, his eyes close, his body goes limp, and he passes. Right then and there. And I am traumatized, I am devastated. This is my worst nightmare come true. And I don't know what to do. I'm bawling, and I'm like, okay, I have to talk to somebody. So I call my mom. My mom lives in California and she's from Trinidad. And so I'm like bawling, I'm like, Mom, I was watching Doreen and Mark's hamster. And it was in my lap, and I got distracted. I don't know what happened, and it committed suicide, and it's dead, and I don't know what to do. And she looks at me. Oh, I'm sorry. She actually she just says on the phone. She's like, "You mean you're crying over a dead hamster?" And I was like, this isn't any ordinary hamster, Mom. Okay, its name was Walnut first, okay? Respect. Its name was Walnut. But they loved this hamster. This was like the embodiment of their love. She's like, well, you're just gonna have to go find something to do with the hamster then. Go throw it in the trash. I was like, I can't throw it in the trash. Go bury it in the park. I'm like, I can't just dig up land in New York City. Well, then just go throw it in the freezer. They want to bury the damn thing, go throw it in the freezer. And of course, none of this is gonna make sense to my mom, right? I mean, if it were her pet goat, or you know, her pet rooster in Trinidad, sure. But us Americans and our pet hamsters and our pet rodents? Forget about it. Forget about it. So I'm like, okay, whatever, you know what? I'm gonna have to talk to somebody else. Let me call up my best friend Sandra. So I call up my best friend Sandra. And she's like, okay, don't trip, you know, you don't know how it died. Maybe, you know, you should figure out how it died. Why don't you get it an autopsy? Oh. And you know, at the time I was like, yeah, that makes sense, I'll get it an autopsy. So I called up a bunch of vets and you know, there's a clinic not too far from here. The clinic was like, sorry, Miss Fraser, we don't do autopsies on exotic animals. And I started freaking out, exotic animals. Oh my God, is the hamster going extinct? I was like, what? I was like, there was just nobody would take me. Like, nobody had an answer. So I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm just gonna have to take this hamster and take Walnut to the park. So So I find this little Verizon wireless box, right? And I put Walnut very delicately into the box, and I go out to Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn, and as I'm there, I'm digging, and I'm digging, and I'm digging, because I have the shovel in my back, in the back of my trunk, and I completely forget that it is completely illegal to dig up land in New York City parks. So I quickly grab a bunch of leaves, I throw it on top of the hamster, and I'm gone. And I just don't even think about it. I get back home, and I tell my mom and Doreen and Mark, I'm really sorry, but the hamster's died, it's gone, and I don't know what to do. And when they got back home, they didn't talk to me for many, many weeks, but essentially, I had to do what I had to do. Thank you very much.